everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Wowhead Weekly number 62. This is our last show before the new year. We're not going to be doing a show next week because it's like the day after Christmas or the day of Christmas. I don't know. It's really close to Christmas, but we will be back on January 1st. But before we get into that, in today's show, I need to introduce my lovely co-host, Wowhead site manager, Perculia.
Hey everyone, Pepe is very festive, and I'm
Cute.
really happy to talk about all of the alpha stuff. We have some models, and that's always fun, and we have a ton of Winter Veil stuff and some cool giveaway things.
We do.
So,
all those things are true and accurate. So the Legion Alpha updated, and I have been in a hole of editing Winter Veil stuff, so I haven't gotten to see much of it, but I did log on today to make a couple videos Perk asked me to make, and the tower is complete.
Yeah, the tower in Dalaran. It's very pretty looking. Yeah.
I will pass it over to you to talk about these alpha updates, and when we get to the models, I'll come back.
Sure. So there was no new zones or classes or specs available, but we did have a lot of spell changes, and most notably, we can data mine the artifact traits for the Resto Shaman weapon now, as well as some for Vengeance Demon Hunters, and we have those up in the artifact talent calculator, so you can see how all the ranks work together and like what you have to get first and all the relics and all that good stuff. And we also found that Beast Mastery Hunters have several new traits and a lot of renamed ones, and Ret Paladins have some tuning changes to their traits as well. There were many Havoc talents added. That's the DPS Demon Hunter spec. So the Legion talent calculator is pretty much filled out except for 2 talents, and the PvP honor level system is also filled out as well. And the Death Knight talent trees have had pretty big revamps. If you were paying attention early on, a lot of their talents were not spec-specific, while other classes had, way more different talents. So they got their big revamp. Most of the rows have spec-specific things now.
I did my Demon Hunter video already. That's why they got huge.
And the Death Knight one.
I did. Yeah, Demon Hunters got huge updates, and Death Knights got huge updates. Those are 2 of the videos I already have done. Figures.
So that was that. And then, as you mentioned, the central tower in Legion Dalaran is now textured. And that's pretty much where the Wrath of the Lich King Ice Crown sculpture is in Wrath Dalaran. That now is a gorgeous tower. And there is a portal room which has portals that take you to Old Dalaran, Karazhan, Wormrest, Temple, some other places I am blanking out on, but it's not the major cities. Those are in your faction areas in Dalaran.
It's like all the
unique
class
places.
areas. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And we saw some more Order Hall champions in the data. We're not really sure how they'll be used because some of the names are things like the Eridar twins and Lord Hydraxis, which I'm not really sure how we'll recruit them, or if, they're just taking champion data and using them for something completely different. But that was kind of cool to see, fun NPC figures like that. And there was also a very, very basic preliminary Order Hall missions UI in. It looks very similar to the Garrison UI, which I know alarms some people because they're like, oh, we don't want Garrisons again. But it honestly just feels like they're taking the template for the Garrison, and they're going to, use it as a foundation, make it look a lot different for champions.
And I think
right now it's using Garrison resources, so that's
okay. So I think this is a good point for discussion because, was it really the idea of missions that people didn't like about Garrisons, or was it how much central stuff was in a solo part of the game? Because if they moved my Garrison mission table to my class order hall, but I'm in my class order hall with a bunch of other people, and is that? It's not really the same thing at all.
I think some people were like, oh, is this going to be a mini game where I have to manage, 20 different things at the same time, and my followers have better gear than me and that whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. Even if they didn't change it, even if it was still super, super similar to Garrisons, it would still be more similar to shipyards because there's much less of them. It's not like you're getting 20, 25 a day you get on live servers. And then on top of it, you're still in a public place, and there's still a main city hub that's very encouraging to go to. So I feel like I'm glad they're not going to completely just dump that tech, because that would have made Warlords of Draenor almost a waste. Because, I feel like every expansion we get something that's sort of like a building block for future expansions.
Right.
And I feel like all that technology and all of that, I don't know, mechanical type stuff is what we got out of Warlords of Draenor. So if they just like dumped it, like what would have been the point at all? I mean, at least they're building off of it and like trying to improve it.
And there have been some things that are a bit different. Like you mentioned the public area that the table's in, but another thing is that currently you don't see this long list of missions. You click, there's this map, and the map has quests that you can do as well as your champions. And you see this continent map, and then you click on a particular zone to narrow it down even more. And then, I know it's preliminary, but there's only one mission available. So I do think that they said that they didn't want you to be like spammed with followers and missions. But so I do think it's going to be like, oh, you know, you have 2 quests available, and your super famous champion, the Eridar twins, or, you know, that would be crazy. Wouldn't they be 2 followers? But yeah, so I think the idea is that like they go on some very elaborate thing, and I didn't see anything about leveling a follower up or giving them item levels and all of that. It just was like the tech of here's a map, and you can assign a cool person to go do something on this map.
So next question. Now you said that there was like a mission for your champion to go on, and then there's also a quest for you. Are those 2 things related?
I just think, I mean, I don't think they're related. Like, basically, the prompt to have you explore High Mountain or Stormheim is on that same mission table. And the one I got from my followers was in Azuna, which I can't log into right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
I wonder if once it goes live, if they're going to, like, try to, like, overlap those, though, so that if they send you to High Mountain, that your champion is also doing something in High Mountain, so it feels more immersive. And it's not just like, oh, I'm sending my champion out.
Also really different, too. Like, it's not, some of the rewards I've seen, you get an item to start a quest, and then, like, that quest is something that you would go on.
Yeah, which is kind of a neat idea. So I definitely feel like everybody should kind of hold their rough judgment, because it's very early alpha. This is the first time we're even seeing this UI, and there's so much that could be changed between, oh my gosh, like when the beta or when the alpha goes down and when it comes back.
Exactly. I'm prepared to see big changes.
I'm prepared for big things. Also, on the alpha this week, we got a bunch of new models, including some tier that's coming. This is the Death Knight tier. This is the tier 19. It looks really Arthas. This is the Mythic Demon Hunter. This is the Druid.
I like the owl theme and the white.
Yeah, it'll come back around again. This is Monk, obviously. I feel like Monk looks so Monk. And this is Priest. So I think these are really, really cool. Like, I really like how Arthasy the Death Knight looks.
Yeah, Death Knight has really gone all out. We had the Mythic set a few weeks ago, but even the regular tier 19, it feels very epic and very detailed for just normal heroic.
I like the owl theme of the Druid, and I like that it's white, but I don't really like how simple it is, and I don't know if that's just because we're not seeing the shoulders and the belt yet.
Watch the shoulders be like...
crazy, like have flapping
like
wings.
Owl eyes. Eye that thinks.
Yeah, but I could think it's just the brown, like, kilty part is so, like, plain, but again, this is all very preliminary. We can't judge too harshly. But I really like the the Death Knight set. I'm never gonna get, like, it's for the rest of forever. I will be screwing those 2 classes up.
Yeah. So I also really like the preset, and I think it's neat. I know some people disagree, but I like how the Mythic set is not just a simple recolor, but there's always a little bit extra added onto it, like the belt, the shoulders, and the helm get a few more doodads and sparkly things on them. And we have a lot of comparisons up between, I think, Death Knight, Hunter, Priest,
the Hunter
Monk,
gear is awesome too.
Like we can all compare and see. And I like when
I really like how this expansion, it seems like so much of the gear that we're seeing for like tier 19 Mythic, the equivalent PvP sets are really based on a lore character. Like the Hunter set looks so Sylvanas, and the Death Knight set looks very Arthas, and even like
I love how it matches the weapons too.
Yes, like I really like how they were very thoughtful about that, because I feel like particularly this expansion, Transmog is out of control. Like, I don't see anybody wearing their set of gear. Like, nobody. I feel like I don't know. I don't know that it was bad gear per se, but like, I don't feel like any of it was like, oh my god, I'm totally going to Transmog tier 17. It's going to be great. Like, with the exception of the Druid set that was in Mythic Blackrock Foundry with the dragonfly wings.
Oh yeah, that
was
very
an awesome set of gear. But I think that
that sort of tied back into the class fantasy, like, oh, it's a druid in nature. Like, that sort of has that same appeal as the sets we're seeing.
Yeah, so I really like that they're tying it to lore figures though, because I feel like if you're a Death Knight, you are a fan of Arthas. Like even though he's a bad dude, like he's like a really cool bad guy, you know? So I like that they're kind of letting you have that fantasy of sort of being like him. Same thing with Sylvanas.
Right,
Sylvanas
because
is,
it ties in like they want the armor to match your weapons, and then with the
yeah.
weapons, you go in this big elaborate lore chain, and you are a very important person now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, and I also think since you mentioned that, I do want to just I've seen a lot of people talking about transmog and stuff lately. You can transmog artifact weapons. You can
yeah,
transmog other weapons into artifacts and you can transmog artifacts into other weapons. They're not the same thing as legendaries. So don't feel like just because they're building these gear sets around the weapon that you are stuck with that because on
yeah.
top of
I think they just want people to feel like they can match your armor to the current
yeah.
weapon,
Absolutely,
you know,
which is really, really, really cool. I'm glad that they're doing it. Also, the Legion dressing room on Wowhead.com is updated to include all the Rogue and Warlock gear for Legion, so you can go try it out on your own character. And lost my train of thought, but
yeah.
talking
Do
what we
we?
were talking about a minute ago, all the mythic gear that's coming out for like tier 19 in PvP, like you had said earlier, it's just a little bit more elaborate of a version, which is something that I really, really like about it. Especially if you go look at like the Death Knight one, like if you go to wowhead.com, there's like comparisons, they're all right in a row. You can see like 5 different colors and stuff. So sorry I got a little off topic. Anyways, Worgen and Torn Bear forms. I tried
And troll. Yeah.
and troll. I tried to make a video about this today, and it's funny because the data is in the files, but it's not on live yet. So I made the video not realizing that they were all old models.
You're like, oh, these look awfully low res based
this
on
doesn't look right, but I don't want to argue. But yeah,
yeah, so
really good.
Troll's got a new color. Torn and Worgen have updated forms, and I'm not sure people were expecting this. We knew about Moonkin form that was coming, and that looks really cool. And we also seeing that the different colors you turn into with the artifact is pretty cool. But I think people were surprised by this, how the base forms are updated as well.
Well, I'm hoping that they do something for Night Elves though too. It doesn't seem fair that like everybody gets a new bear form except Night Elves.
Yeah, I mean, I think they tend to do things like piecemeal, like, you know, every week we're like, oh, here's 3 more tier sets, so maybe next build we'll see Night Elves.
Yeah,
that would be
was there any other model stuff that happened? I know there was a witch hat model, but we don't know what that's for.
Yeah, there's a really cool witch hat, which I think is Hollow's End, but we don't know. And there were more Nightborn models. Nightborn is like, it's this subset of night elves, which were like corrupted by magic, and they're like to Suramar, and they had like really cool sort of arcane mystical appearances, and we found these mutant forms, which are like a night elf bug fusion. They kind of remind me of the Klaxi, like the Empress, and they look really awesome, so we've got a few pictures of them in all the different colors too.
Yeah, going back to the witch hat model, I know that the current hypothesis is that it's for Hollow's End, but I mean, it's funny because I feel like Legion has a lot of like BC throwbacks. And in Karazhan, you could get
the
witch hat.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing that you could wear. And I know that because I mained a Boomkin in BC and I was very new to the game. And at the time, there was no bonus for wearing leather. So a lot of times, like leather casters wore cloth. And I wore that stupid hat forever, like for the entire expansion. So when I saw that, I was like, huh, I wonder if it's something related to that because that would be kind of cool. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Perk. You're gonna have to talk about the PvP stuff. I read over this earlier. I don't understand any of it. Like, what do you mean there's no PvP currency? That's so confusing to me. Take it away.
Okay. So, Blizzard wrote this big PvP overview, which was very similar to their class overviews they did right after BlizzCon. And they explained a lot of changes, and they always explain changes, but this one has more radical changes than before, as Panzer just alluded to. One of the big things was that honor and conquest, they said, are no longer currencies, and the concept of honor instead is that you get honor points as you do things, and it increases your honor level, and then as you increase your honor, you get things like gold and artifact power and the special honor talent system along the way. And honor talents are an additional set of talents that are active when players are in PvP instances or combat. So it doesn't replace your Legion talents. It's not exactly PvE talents versus PvP, but this is an extra set. And the way the grid is set up, the higher your honor level is, the more things unlock. So if you're like level 5 in PvP honor, you might only have like 3 talent options available and you're forced into like 1 per row, your whole row isn't unlocked. But if you're level 40, then you have most of the UI unlocked. And we have calculators for all of these PvP talents, and the calculators tell you what honor level you have to be to unlock each of this. Also, in PvP content, you will get a preset set of stats for your specialization. Your set bonuses, enchants, legendary bonuses, and trinkets will be deactivated. And with these changes, your gear will still improve your character in PvP, but the effect of gear will be less impactful going along with this whole, like, you're meant to get preset stats. And they explain the formula, and to just basically TLDR it, a 25 item level difference will make your character 2.5% stronger, not 25% stronger as they would be now. So that seems really good if you are trying to get into PvP, and you're not going to get slaughtered if you're new and are still trying to go into it. There are also no specific PvP stats or items that change their item level when you go into PvP. And they did want to clarify that you can still get gear through PvP, and it's called Vindictive Gladiator. And some of the models we were showing before, they're PvP recolors of the PvE tier.
Wait a second. We need to talk about this. I'm very confused. Okay, so there's no currency, but there is PvP gear. How?
I don't know.
How? I'm so confused. Like, is there going to be another, like, okay, there's no honor, there's no conquest, so they're just going to come out with something that's like...
Maybe if you're level, like, I don't know, like, if you're level 10, you can buy chests. If you're level 20, you can buy,
But what about prestige then? Because then you are unleveled. So then, what? Like, Blizzard, please.
I know, people are having, prestige is something I'm confused about, too, because... They're saying that there are going to be shorter PvP seasons with more frequent rewards, and end of the season PvP rewards are awarded separately to players in each faction, not the player base. And people are saying, well, if the seasons are shorter, then it's riskier if I take all my honor points and I get rid of them to gain prestige levels. Like you have less time to, rank up and do well.
No comprende. I just don't get it at all.
So what a prestige level is that once you reach honor level 50, at that point you have all your PvP talents unlocked, so you can just stay there and have everything unlocked, or you can reset your honor level back to 0, and then you gain a prestige level, and then based on your level you can get things like titles or a special artifact appearance, and this is more controversial, mounts and even pets. Like, I know a lot of pet collectors are like, Alterac Valley, like the, nanny achievement, like I don't want pets and PvP mixed together.
Okay, all right, so I have thoughts on this. So I'm thinking that maybe your end of season rewards will be based on your highest level reached that season, not necessarily having any. So if you prestige, you get an achievement, like a feat of strength for that
prestige
season.
Is just cosmetic, so it's like, do I want to be like stronger, or do I want to get like the special wolf, or like the cool looking artifact thing that glows savagely?
yeah I'm just curious, like, I'm very curious how the end of season rewards are gonna work. I'm just so confused.
I mean, like, the concept that honor is sticking around, but it's not a currency, but it's still a thing that you need to acquire to unlock rewards, and then it is a big shift.
I just don't understand.
I think they need some follow-up blogs
I guess I'm confused. Like, yeah, because there is PvP gear, but then they're saying there's no PvP stats. So, like, what's the point?
I think that you can get the gear through PvP, and then you can use it for anything. I think that's what they mean, and that the gear from PvP has the unique color, which encourages you to get it from PvP.
Wait, but like people who no, I don't like this. Wait a second. Okay, so I'm someone who raids quite a bit. My guild is like, we're like 6 out of 13 mythic. Like, we're not great, but we're not terrible either. And like, we would never even consider someone who only did PvP and didn't do PvE, but now you're going to have these people who are in gear that they acquired by, like, grinding out BGs. Doesn't matter if they won or lost, like, just there. But they're in gear that's usable in raids, and they're
well, we don't know
level
if they'll
850.
We don't know. Well, they won't have the set bonuses from PvE, and we don't know how they'll acquire it. So maybe if you lose a lot, you won't just acquire all this honor. You'll, like, not get any gear.
Oh my god, I have a lot of anxiety about this.
Well,
I
it's
have a lot
not.
of
It's not.
anxiety
It's not
about
on the
this.
beta yet. So as soon as there is a vendor, I will go to that vendor and see what I have to do to get that PvP gear.
I need a Savage cup of chamomile tea. This is too much. This is too
There
much.
is a pet.
But what was very so cute. Wait. So a lot of people have been really upset though that there wasn't going to be a new BG, and I heard a really interesting argument about this. But before I talk about that, there are 2 new arenas this expansion. It's the Val'Sharah arena and the Ravencourt arena, which is probably gonna be Rogi themed, right?
Yeah, the Ravencourt one, it's like Blackrock Hold, and it looks very cool because you actually have the Raven statues, and they had some pictures of it, and I like how it looks.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so that's really cool. Getting that out of the way, though, I heard a really good argument for why they didn't add any new BGs, and I thought it was a really thoughtful... Like, whoever thought of this had really considered the whole thing. So we get new raids every single expansion, new dungeons every single expansion, because every time a new expansion comes out, pretty much the old stuff is obsolete. There's no scaling up, there's no scaling down. Like, that gear is old and you can't use it anymore, and those bosses are irrelevant. But BGs never become irrelevant.
Right, and there's only so many ways you can, redo, like, a payload map or a capture the flag map.
So I thought that was just a really good point, that it's not really a lazy thing. It's like you already have so many, and it's not saying there'll never be another one, but it's not as vital to PvP gameplay to add a new place to murder each other, because the basis of everything is still, like, you can still use your vanilla BGs.
I do think it's a lot better that they put the resources into the separate PvP talent system, and then de-emphasizing gear and giving people the preset stats.
Like, I don't know about this gear thing, though. I'm very concerned.
I think the preset stats is something that's just like, oh, if I want to try out PvP, I'm not going to be, like, slaughtered because I'm totally new.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's been part of, like, when I was leveling up the first time in World of Warcraft, like, there was no experience in Battlegrounds, and you had to, like, run to the portals to do them.
I remember when you were trying to do the weekly quest for the arena skirmishes, and that did not go well.
I don't want to talk about that, okay? Like, I won, like, 2, and only one of them was because of a disconnect, I'll have you know. Listen, so when I was leveling up, I actually really, really enjoyed PvP, because at 29, you do... What is it? Warsong Gulch? That's where the portal is? Or is that the other one?
I think that's a Wrathy. I think 19 is Warsong.
Okay, 19 is Warsong Gulch, 29 is Wrathy. So at 19, I stopped leveling, and I just did PvP for, like, a month. Like, I had, like, a twinked out character that I went through all the dungeons got all the gear, and, like, that was so fun. And then I did the same thing at 29, and then I also stopped at, like, 39, because that was, like, a really popular thing to do back in the day, but it's not really a thing you can do anymore because of heirloom gear and stuff like that. It's not the same thing. So I've always, like, wanted to get into PvP, because I know if I was, like, geared, it's something I would enjoy. It's just, I see what you're saying about, like, not wanting to go in and immediately get slaughtered, but then as someone... Like, I could see the perspective of someone who worked really hard at PvP being like, well, they shouldn't get some sort of jump start because they're bad.
Right.
So it's kind of a weird thing, but I'm interested to see what everybody thinks about the new arenas and the new system, and I'm interested to learn more, because I've said this a couple times, but I think I'm going to main Resto Druid next expansion, and they've always been so good in PvP, so...
Yeah, I mean, I know even at Gamescom there was some confusion where it's like, oh, there's no PvP stats, and, like, gear is... different, but you can still get gear from PvP, but there's no PvP specific gear, and a lot of people are like, what? Like, so I think we just need to actually see the items in person, that'll make a lot more sense.
Yeah, well, hopefully, the Legion Alpha is shutting down on December 21st, and it'll be back after the holidays. So hopefully when it comes back, we'll hear more about that. And a lot of people were questioning why it's going down, and it's because there's not going to be anyone in the office to fix something if it breaks.
And it's the first time there's been a beta over the holidays, so it's not like, oh, Blizzard is lazy, or like they're changing how their schedule. It's just, we've never had something like this, and the only thing I can think of is that for 5.2 we could data mine it right before the holidays, but you couldn't actually go onto the PTR until January. Yeah. So it was similar.
And they did the same thing for Overwatch too. Like, I think that was I'm not sure if that was a holiday thing or a timing thing, because they said, like, they just had
I think it's a mix.
It's a mix. Speaking of Overwatch, side note, sorry, I have, like, really bad ADD brain today. Speaking of Overwatch, there was a new Overwatch trailer on Star Wars.
Do you want to talk about Star Wars before the fruit hat?
Like, kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
didn't even realize you added those notes in there. Yeah, let's talk about Star Wars. So,
Yeah.
oh, and I may as well just tell you this now. I think on Monday, instead of doing a true Downtime Tuesday, I'm gonna do a pop culture Star Wars in
Yeah,
WoW
that'd be
video.
cute.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Anyways, the guards in Stormwind and Orgrimmar have lightsabers. They're like orangish red in Orgrimmar, and they're blue in Stormwind. It started yesterday at like 5:30 Pacific time.
That was so weird because I was logged in and all of a sudden the guards just
they
for
just
5 minutes
were gone.
and I'm like, what happened? Like, is my WoW lagging? Like, you know,
we're about
like
to be invaded.
and
Things
then
are really
this,
bad.
And then this one guard just like started slowly walking and he had a lightsaber and I'm like, oh my god, that's what happened to the guards.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so that's pretty fantastic. I did just talk about the Overwatch trailer. There's also a new, it's not a new Warcraft movie trailer, but it is in 3D and IMAX 3D, which is pretty exciting. I'm going to actually see Star Wars on Monday in IMAX 3D. It was sold out over the weekend.
Nice. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm not sure if it'll be in 3D though.
I was really excited because when I moved here, like the one thing I was really excited about is there's an IMAX theater, and if you're gonna go to the movies, man, like make it worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go see that, especially since like I've only been able to see like one 3D movie since getting LASIK, and it's a different experience not having to put 3D glasses over regular glasses. I'll tell you what. But you want to talk about some of the other Star Wars references in WoW?
That's actually really good timing because yesterday I was writing up all the like fun Star Wars references in WoW, and then they just added the lightsabers again. I'm like, oh wow, like this ties in what they wrote.
This is
perfectly.
so fun.
Yeah. So obviously, Toshly Station has quite a few references. One is obviously the power converter toy you can get, and that's you know, to like, oh, I really wanted to pick up the power converters, and some of the other quest rewards there are also, you know, like the vibro sword, stuff like that. And guarding the hill going up to Toshly Station is a robot called R3D0, and it's obviously a mix of everyone's two favorite robots. And he has this really funny line. I'm gonna go pull it up. One sec. So
I'm gonna do a video on this, and it's gonna get totally flagged for copyright.
So there is this robot, and he's sort of broken, and when you go talk to him, he says, I am fluent in over 2 languages, Dwarvish, Gnomish, and the very common tongue of humans, but I have no idea what you're saying. So, Toshly Station is just a lot of fun, plus if you do that whole quest line, the power converter is a toy, and the toy box is good, there's a title if you get so many toys. You can...
That just reminds me of our conversation about Crash and Thrashin' yesterday.
We will get very soon. Because I'm sure other people in chat are also confused by that. You can actually get the lightsaber model in-game for Transmog.
Yeah.
There's the Argent Avenger and the Spellfire Longsword if you want a blue one-hander, the Very Lightsaber if you want a two-hander, and then there's T-Boo's Blazing Longsword, which is the Horde lightsaber, and then the Blade of Wizardry, which is a golden lightsaber. So some of these are kind of expensive, like T-Boo's and Blade of Wizardry, but they look really cool and they're worth it.
And they're worth it?
I had a T-Boo's, which is super rare, and I was super... It was like someone, I think maybe like mislisted it. It's like buyout, like 13,000 gold. So, yeah. And I think the Argent Avenger you can't currently get, but yeah, it's just a really fun look. And in addition to the Very Lightsaber, that's from the Gnomish starting area, and there's a bunch of other there's a bunch of other gnome quests that have Star Wars themed names, such as the Death Star and Staff of the Force. So, you know, you can roll a baby gnome and make sure it's the right class and get these cool...
if you were a gnome Death Knight, I guess they don't start in the same area, but then you could like force choke someone with your Death Star. So good. Okay, so I'm super excited about this video. I'm gonna make it on Monday. It'll be out Monday, so you can add that to your guide.
Plus, there's like the Stormtrooper achievement, like now I'm the master and don't get cocky, kid, and it's a trap. So
like Blizzard is so full of like I love when I see references to like everything like that. I just think that's a really fun part of the game, and I love it when I find ones that I haven't seen other people have before. Like there's a goblin follower named like the Pink Lady or something like that. Her name's like Rizzo Pink Lady. I can't remember, but it's definitely a Grease reference. And then she has the Grease Monkey trait on top of.
Oh, that's really
so
fun.
cute. And then I saw another one named Kesnia Solo, which is like an actress. She's in like Lost Girl and like a couple other like sci-fi type things. And there's certain things like obviously like H.P. Lovecraft. There's so much H.P. Lovecraft. There's so much Star Wars. There's so much Lord of the Rings. Like you feel like really connected to the people that make the game because it's like, I get these references.
Yeah, there's so much like rich stuff with Garrison followers. Like I think there's like a Dracula reference, and I heard, I'm not sure if true, but I've seen a few comments that some of the followers are named after various Blizzard interns, which I think is really sweet.
Aw.
So, yeah.
No follower named after Panzer though. You know why? Because you'd send me out on a mission, I'd get lost. So I skipped this to talk about Star Wars, but there is a new, well, it's not a new item. It was actually data mined back in the MOP, right? Like 5.2. It
was like back in the Warlords beta.
Yeah.
And then it like went away. And
we
then
never heard about it. Yeah. Well, it is not that. It's this. You can get it. This is, I opened up the map. You can see it. It's in like, I don't know, just south of Half Hill in the Imperial Granary. And it's just an item that you can pick up. Hopefully it'll be made into a toy because right now it's just an item. But it's totally free. You just have to go find it. And then when you go to your garrison and you use it, it forms a little Congo line. I'll let the video play while we chit-chat a little about it so you can see it work. And it's funny because when my garrison guards weren't showing their festive outfits, I kept using this item to try to like lure them out in Santa suits. It didn't work. Unsuccessful. But I think this is a really cute item. I hope that they make it a toy.
Yeah, it's very weird that it's not a toy because if you go into combat or use zone, it removes it. So I had the problem where I looted. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Let me try it out in my garrison. And I hearthed and it went away. But it should also be a toy because it stacks with other disguises and toys like Pepe.
Yeah. What?
So Pepe is sitting in a bowl of
fruit bowl?
Yes, Pepe sits in the fruit bowl.
That's amazing. This is where they start to like realize that I'm dancing. You can see I'm like running, like, whoa, you're dancing? I'm into this. And as you walk around your garrison, you'll get more and more people joining this Congo line. This was, I still had Halloween decorations, so it's like all pirates and ninjas following me in this line.
I like when Ben rode like the human. He's like, hey, I'll just show up.
Hey, I'm in on this too. Yeah, it's really cute. Even some of them aren't guards. Like some of them are actually like NPCs from your buildings. Like you'll see in a second that I walk by the inscription hut, and like there's my inscription people. Like I have no profession people because they came out to like dance in a line, and they'll follow you around for a long time too. It's a really, really cute item.
Yeah, so I also just want to say that I love things like the hidden items like the fruit hat and Murky, and also how they can hotfix fun things in like the Star Wars lightsabers.
Yeah.
Like
it didn't even require a restart.
Yeah, I just think it's fun when something, unique just pops up and there can still be surprises in WoW.
Yeah,
so.
It's really fun. It's really fun. Speaking of fun things, Winter Veil. It's funny because I've been working on this Winter Veil video.
So long.
So long. Yeah, for like 3 straight days. I've slept like 4 hours, but I'm super excited because it's done. So if you guys want to check that out, it's over at wowhead.com. And I feel like I could probably recite all this stuff off the top of my head. But
take it away. You can.
Yeah, take it away. I have. It's funny because I like texted my husband when he was at work, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm working." He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, all the holiday quests. And he's like, "That's not work. Like that's not work." I'm like, "No, it's mandatory. That makes it work." Like I power leveled my paladin so that I had an additional character to do this on. Using the Wowhead guide, by the way.
Good.
But,
I need to put your video on the guide.
Yeah, no, Winter Veil is live now. It's going to be now through, it started on the 16th. It'll be through January 2nd. And there's a couple new things this year. We have the Merry Supplies, which are like a bind on, I think the Merry Supplies are bind on account.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and they're a currency that's acquired from doing daily quests that you can then use to buy things like garrison decorations. There's 5 different ones in total. They have like lights and trees and wreaths and mistletoe and presents and stockings. Then you also can get like a little winter wonder vault, which when you walk into it turns you into a gnome. Public service announcement: it doesn't work on your friends, it only works on you. which is very disappointing. And there's also like a little snowman guy. It's very, very cute when your garrison is like fully decked out in holiday cheer. Once you've gotten all of that, you can spend, well, I guess you don't have to decorate your garrison, but why wouldn't you? You can also buy the Crash and Thrashin Killdozer controller, which is part of the new achievement, the Crash and Thrashin Armada. It also gives you like a feat of strength achievement if you get it. And the last thing that you can get is the Savage Gift, which can contain all sorts of things like oil, garrison resources, Apexis crystals, medallions of the Legion, the frozen arms of the hero. There's one more, isn't there? Not the other than the mount.
It's one of the blue garrison items. There are 3 total.
Yeah, there's one more. Whatever. It's the conquest item. It's the item that gives you 1,000 conquest points. But the best thing that you can get is the Minion of Grumpus mount.
He's so cool.
This is one of my guildies who opened it on like her first box because she's the worst. And it is just the cutest mount. He's really, really cool. I actually like him better than the War Yeti. I like the colors.
Yeah, the challenge mode one.
Yeah, better than the white and the blue, because I think the white and the blue looks like an abominable snowman. This guy looks like you might actually see him out in the wild. Plus, he's wearing suspenders. So he's got that going for him as well. And I think an important thing to remember, hey, that's you. I think an important thing to remember, even though it's not really important, is that when you are doing your quests, which will send you out to like an area in Frostfire Ridge, you'll kill some grumplings, you'll kill Grampus, you'll free some children, and you'll destroy some like really crappy gifts, like literally crap. Like one of the gifts is a pile of poop.
Yeah.
It is steaming. Is that you'll find little snow piles around, and they are definitely worth your time to loot because you can get all sorts of things. You can get snowballs, savage snowballs, which are very funny because when you throw them at people, it does 1 damage, so it actually will put them in combat. Yellow snowballs, huge snowballs, and then also you can get the Grumpling pet, and it's not that rare. Like, I would say it's probably like a 1 in 25, 1 in 30 snow pile. Like, I've gotten 4 of them already, so definitely worth getting, and then I would hang on to that. Because right now they're going to go in the auction house for like nothing because people are farming them. But you just wait. You just wait like 6 months when people forgot about the grumpling.
Exactly.
There's also new and changed presents under the tree. Of course, you can't open the presents under the tree until December 25th because Christmas. And there's all sorts of stuff. The lounge cushion toys from last year are now in stolen gifts, which you get from the quest that sends you to Hillsbrad to go free Metzen. But you can get gently shaken gifts, which will contain the redwood and sled toy, which will let you'll put it down and then you pick a battle pet and your battle pet will ride around in the sled that you pull around. It's really, really cute. I can't wait to get it. There's also a new costume called the Merry Munchkin costume, but it's not a costume for you. It's a costume for your pug. It's kind of adorable. It gets a little Rudolph nose and he looks all festive. It's really, really cute. There's also the special Winter Veil gift this year, which contains the Crash and Thrashin Flamer controller, which also awards its own achievement and is part of... Is that one part of the Crash and Thrashin Armada? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's that one, the Killdozer, and then the 3 Tanan
And then the 3 Tanan ones, because that makes sense, right? There are
should we talk about Crash and Thrashin for a minute?
Rant is the word I would like to use. Because there's seven Crash and Thrashin items total in game, and you need 5 of them for the Crash and Thrashin Armada, and
it's also a toy title.
And oh my god, so it makes no sense. There's just somebody at Blizzard likes the words Crash and Thrashin way, way, way too much. Because there's 3 toys from Tanan that are Crash and Thrashin something or another. There's 2 toys this year. Then in the past there were 2 other toys, and
the Crash and Thrashin Shredder.
And then there's the Crash and Thrashin, the one that looked like the Wowhead rocket.
Yep. Crash and Thrashin rocket controller, I think.
Rocket controller? I don't know. But you need to get 5 of them for Crash and Thrashin Armada. But what's weird about that is that it's considered a Winter Veil achievement. But 3 of them are from Tanan and 2 of the Christmas ones aren't even included. So that's very confusing to me. And then the title for getting like 200 toys is like Crash and Thrashin. It's like your title, but like it has nothing to do. You don't even have to have any of the Crash and Thrashin toys to get. It just makes no sense. It's just, I have a bone to pick about that. It's very confusing.
Yeah, we were talking about the guide, and you're like, there are these Crash and Thrash items. I'm like, no, there's 5, not 7, and like, you need these from here. And she's like, Crash and Thrashin's in the stolen present. I'm like, no, not for the achievement. And we were very confused for a few minutes before we sorted it out.
Like, they need to stop naming things Crash and Thrashin. altogether. Altogether. I've had enough of it. But there's some other updates too, just fun little things like fizzy apple cider, which increases your gathering rate when you're like picking herbs or skinning or whatever. And then there's also 2 different cosmetic weapon enchants. There's Ragnaros, the Flames of Ragnaros and Winter's Grasp. Those are both from the Smoky Wood Pastures gift pack and special.
Yeah, Flames
gift.
of Rag is a big deal because that was like the super rare drop from Ragnaros as part of the Molten Core event, which is
I
now
didn't know
over.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's only on the black market auction house right now, so obviously it's pretty expensive, and you want to hold on to that because weapon illusions are a transmog thing in Legion.
Yeah. There's also the mincemeat fruit cake has been
I found this
buffed
one hilarious.
so that it's the best food for health restoration, but it's also gross fruit cake. So there's that. Then the miniature Wintervale tree has been buffed to be eye level 670, and I think that comes from the ticking present.
That's from the stolen present, so that daily that has billions of toys.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of presents. There's so many presents. And then the candy cane, which I got that mailed to me from Great Father Winter, but it's really cute because now your character actually has like a candy cane sticking out of their mouth.
That also needs to be a toy.
Oh my god, yes. I didn't even think about that. It could only work during Wintervale. Like, they don't even have to make it like a...
Yeah.
Like, that would be cute. But anyways, we talked about this earlier. It runs from December 16th to January 2nd. You can start opening presents on the 25th. If you do the 11 core achievements, you'll get the Merrymaker title, which is also part of the Oh, What a Long Strange Trip It Has Been meta achievement. There's a ton of toys that you can get from stolen presents and other presents and quests and stuff like that. Also, the Scroll of Storytelling, which was just an on-use item last year, is now actually a toy this year, and it kind of makes your whole screen look like sketch.
Very nostalgia. Yeah.
Vintage.
Yep.
And vintage. There is also a one-time quest for the Smoky Wood Pastures gift pack that requires you to cook with small eggs and ice cold milk. Ice cold milk is sold from innkeepers, and small eggs can be grinded out in literally 2 seconds.
Small eggs is, I swear, like one of the most popular pages on the site. Like, people are just like losing their minds over small eggs, and they don't know where to get them. But it's really easy. Like, they're all over. There are lots of Wowhead comments. Don't buy them on the AH for hundreds of gold.
Alvine posted the funniest screenshot. I don't know if you saw it. It was like 2 guys arguing in trade chat. Someone was like, "Oh, who is this idiot who's selling small eggs for 50 gold? Like, who would buy that?" And then someone's like, "I don't know, bro. Sometimes I just get lazy." And he's like, "You would buy those small eggs." They're arguing back and forth, and then all of a sudden you see on the screen it pops up. It's like, your auction of small eggs has just sold. And he's just like, so good. So good. But that's kind of a cool way to make money right now, too. Like, if you go out to grind the small eggs for yourself, like, get some extras because people will buy them on the auction house for exorbitant prices. Yep. So that's a thing. It's also worth mentioning that this is when you can get those red and green winter hats, which you can use.
I wish we had a picture of this. They're really funny.
I know, I didn't. I'm sorry. I did. They're in the video. They're on Wowhead, but a bunch of the bosses actually dress up for Christmas. It's really cute. Iron Reaver does, Tyrant Valhari, Beast Lord Darmak, Flamebender Cat Kagraz. I tried. But the best one, you didn't even mention on here, is definitely Siegecrafter Blackfuse. He goes like full out. He's only available like that on December 25th. He literally has like lights and a hat and like wreaths on his person.
The shredders.
And then like when he shoots out his like saw blades, they're wreaths. It's amazing. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm doing Group Finder on Christmas just so that I can see that in all of its glory. I'm very excited. Ooh, Christmas giveaway. Talk about it. Talk about the thing.
Awesome. Before we start, Pepe wants to know why he doesn't have a Pepe disguise for Wintervale.
I know! I was so surprised that they didn't give him a little hat.
I know.
Or that it wasn't something you could buy. Or, like, why didn't they make, instead of giving the pug yet another disguise, why didn't they make that a little Munchkin Pepe Mary costume? Blizzard.
I know.
Right?
But we are giving Pepe's and other really cool things away on Wowhead. We just launched our Wowhead Holiday Scavenger Hunt today. And it's similar to our past scavenger hunts. We give you clues. You visit the right page, and you automatically enter into our giveaway up to 10 times. And we have so many cool prizes. We have a ton of digital items, including Bright Paw and the Mystic Rune Saber. We have a lot of awesome Blizzard Gear Shop merch, ranging from Pepe plushes to the little waving cinder kitten to those really comfy Alliance and Horde blankets. We even have some of those canvas wall hangs that we've featured before.
Oh, look, they're behind me. There they
Yeah,
are.
exactly. Yep. So we're giving away one of each. We have lanyards, we have a license plate, we're giving away Griffin hatchlings, so tons of adorable things. And we've also thrown in an Area 51 gaming desktop from Alienware, so this giveaway is pretty serious.
If you like cool computers, no big deal.
And this runs through January 4th. And it's not limited to U.S. residents, but if you're in a country that does have high custom fees and you win something, we will offer the option of instead giving you BattleNet gift cards for that amount if you don't want to be surprised with customs. So yeah, we're very excited to have giveaway. Everyone loves scavenger hunts.
That's so nice though. Like, I don't know if people understand like what a cool concept that is, that if you win a big prize, that you guys will give them BattleNet cards so that they can like have it shipped directly to them and don't have to deal with customs coming from the US.
Right.
That's kind of awesome perk, just saying.
Aww.
So Wowhead always does good giveaways. I'm not allowed to enter them. It's lame. But you know what Wowhead is doing? Presents for everyone. I'm kidding. The Blizzard shop. I'm just really bad at transitions. I'm sorry. Every transition I do is so cheesy. The people at the Blizzard shop gave us a code. It is Wowhead10. And you can get 10% off of pretty much everything in the Blizzard Gear shop until December 31st. And they have super fast shipping. I'm pretty sure even if you ordered it like today, it would still get there on time.
Yeah,
but there's
today is the last day that they'll guarantee it arrives for the 25th.
Yeah, it's
so
really fast.
Use that code now. Yeah, buy something, buy a Pepe, buy clothes. If you forget, if you're watching this later, it still works until the 31st if you have holiday money you want to spend, use our code afterwards.
Yeah, there's so much good stuff in the gear shop too. Like, it's not just I feel like the gear shop used to be kind of, I don't want to say it was crappy, but it wasn't great. And now they've got all sorts of stuff, like particularly for girls. And I know, like, I hate to do the whole gender thing, like, oh, I need my own things, like, hey, I'm a girl. But like, really, it's so cool that they have leggings and they have like knitted sweaters. They have like that oh my gosh, they did this last time. I couldn't remember the name of it. The chiffon shirt with the heroes, the storm pattern all over it. They have scarves. They have necklaces. They have all sorts of really neat things. It's not just t-shirts and hoodies anymore. There's a lot more you can get. There's bathrobes.
And some are really cute, but other stuff you could actually, wear out for, say, business casual. Like the Hearthstone scarf is very understated, but still shows that you're a fan of the game.
I love my heart. And it's only $20, and it's a massive scarf. Like, scarves that big get really expensive, and it is huge, and it's really, really nice. I wear it all the freaking time, and I feel like it doesn't look childish. Not that I should talk about looking childish, but like sometimes you want to dress up and you want to look like a grown-up, and I feel like the Hearthstone scarf doesn't trigger any what the heck is someone wearing warnings.
Right.
Whereas, like, when you wear a For the Horde tacky Christmas sweater, it might do that. But there's a lot of cool stuff, and it's definitely worth checking out. That code is valid through the 31st, so just one last time in case you forgot. Now is a good time to ask us questions if you have any, and I want to remind you guys that we will not be here next week because next Friday is actually Christmas Day, and a lot of people celebrate that. So, and I know Perk is going to be away. I don't know what I'm doing, but so we will not have a show on the 25th, but we will have a show on the 1st, right?
Yep, we will be doing that. Yeah, I want to do it because they'll probably, like, we pushed some new features live today, and I'm like, oh, we should talk about them on the show.
I'm going to try so hard not to be hungover. I make no promises. I'm an adult, okay? I'm an adult. But, so we will be here on the 1st, so don't fret when we aren't here next week. It's a holiday. But we will be back on the 1st, and then every Friday after that. Don't eat Pepe for Christmas. Rude.
Oh, no. Pepe is sad. Pepe is sad. One more bit of news thing I want to mention before we answer questions is they brought back the digital deluxe Dreadraven and Dread Hatchling. So it sort of surprisingly went away when they announced that Legion pre-orders were open at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
But they haven't brought back the whole digital deluxe collector's edition, but they have brought back the mount on the pet, and you can buy those specific things for $20 until Legion.
Just about anything for them to bring back for them to just incorporate digital collector's editions of the expansions that didn't have that option available.
Yeah.
I really would. Like, I would buy 3 so that I could get all 3 of the vanilla mount, or of the vanilla pets. The Wrath pet was so cute, and that was like before, or the Burning Crusade one was super cute too. Like, and those were before my
All
days.
pets are cute. I know. I was playing, but I didn't have a lot of spare money, so I was not buying collector's editions.
Well, not only that, but you could only buy the physical collector's edition, which was like $120.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, it's only $20 more if you buy the digital one.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have bought it then. I'd probably be like, I don't know about this. But.
Yeah, I don't think I was into it. Well, I don't know. I was already. I got pretty deep and dark into WoW. Like it was. There wasn't much of a transition between I don't play WoW to I play WoW 20 hours a day.
Yeah, I think I was playing because I couldn't really do anything else with my time. I'm like, WoW is very cheap. I will do this cheap activity.
I'll do this cheap activity. You ladies have a happy holidays. I hope you guys have a happy holidays. What else? Stop arguing in the comments. Thanks. Adults should be mature enough not to get hungover. What gives you the idea that I am an adult? What else we got? Oh. Do you think that mages will have 2 portals to Dalaran? That is a good question. I hope so.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to turn out because I know people are like, how do the rings work? How does Jaina work? I know that those it's funny, like those NPCs that sell some magey specific things still sell their old like portals and like Dalaran Brilliance buffs, and their tag is being for Demon Hunters as well now, and I think that the Dalaran Brilliance is actually gone because there's no more like raid-wide buffs that do stuff like, oh, here's a passive 5% for your raid.
Oh.
So I don't think that's all sorted out yet. I think that
I bought Jaina's locket just in case.
Yeah. We haven't seen any of the mage tier sets yet, so maybe like mages still have like big changes coming. Like, I don't think it would be as big as Death Knights, but I think they still need their like polishy pass.
Well, people are just arguing in the comments amongst themselves about something unrelated to us, so we're gonna wrap it up. I don't even know. One of them is like spelling everything wrong to tick the other one off, and the other one is totally falling for it. So everybody's stuck.
Oh no!
Stop it.
Pepe is sad. Pepe wants you to.
It's funny because I was just saying, like, I'm having people over for New Year's. Like 2 people. Wait. Let me rephrase that. I'm having 2 of friends over for New Year's, and I talk to you more than I talk to pretty much anyone else because I work from home, so I don't like leave my house a lot, and I talk to my dogs a lot. Like, I don't know if that's weird, but like I just kind of will be like, what are you doing, Tychus? Like talk to my dogs, and when they do something bad, I don't say no. I do like this weird dog noise. It's like like that's my like don't do that thing noise. And when I had people over for like they came over right after Thanksgiving, I kept doing that to Steve, my friend Steve. Like we were playing cards and he wasn't like doing things properly, and Nick was like, that is so rude. You can't talk to people like dogs. It's habitual. I don't mean to. I don't talk to people enough. Anyway,
I just got a little bit of news actually. Ooh. Someone said they asked Muffinus, wait, I opened up the wrong tweet. They said, can you guys please add Winter's Grasp and Flames of Ragnaros to the Stolen Present? 1 chance a year is nuts, and he's referring to the 1 chance from the Smoky Wood Gift Pasture quest chain. And Muffinus replied, feedback received. They will be account-wide Xmogs in Legion, should feel rare and special. So if you, right now, like if you get the Flames of Rag on 1 character, in Legion, all of your characters can have that fiery enchant.
That's really cool. That doesn't surprise me, though. I think, because they even said that like challenge modes would be usable if you had like 2 warlocks and one of them had it unlocked. So that doesn't surprise me. I'm really, really excited. When do you think the pre-patch will come? I think it'll be March. That's probably a good estimate.
I think it will be May to get people hyped up for the movie.
Ah, that's so far away. Perk.
Like we've only played 2 zones and like 10
I
specs.
just want to have can me and Ian Hazacostas have like a cage match to the death, because he said, and I quote, "A year was too long in Siege of Orgrimmar. We won't do that to you again." And here we are.
I mean, I'm sure he and anyone else you speak to would like them to be faster, but I don't think you can magically make a whole building of people and bugs go a certain way.
Meet me in the cage, Watcher. Meet me in the cage. Like we've been raiding Hellfire Citadel since what, July? Early July was that patch?
Yeah, late June, something.
Late
like that.
June. Okay, and that's literally when it's forecasted for Legion to come out.
Yeah.
Tisky task.
I mean, maybe
a tasket, a savage looking basket.
I mean, I was just going by May because they've said they said, you know, Legion summer 2016,
Yeah.
and usually the pre-patch is like a month before, but maybe
You're
they'll try some.
Right, I just don't want.
Maybe they want to
right.
spread it out more. Like maybe they're like, hey, we want the pre-patch to be pretty epic. Let's have it last longer than a month if we're putting all this work into something.
Okay. To the person in
So
chat
maybe
who
it'll
just
start
said.
earlier.
To the person in chat who just said Blizzard promised beta in 2015 and we didn't get beta. We got alpha. Don't be that guy. There was a
when I open up the
build
client,
of Legion.
Yeah, when I open up my client, it says like beta in the technical babble on the left-hand side.
Yeah, you don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Anyway.
I just stopped calling it alpha beta whenever I do like a spell beta. I'm just like, this is the Legion build.
This is the Legion thing.
Yeah, save space in the title as well. One less word I can use to talk about models or something cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. I think I'm going to go grocery shopping. Doesn't that sound so fun? See, I am an adult. And I don't know, Perk's going to do Perk things. Are you going to see Star Wars today or tomorrow?
I'm seeing Star Wars tomorrow morning. I'm probably going to log back onto the alpha beta to...
Oh, the alpha beta.
Like,
we just call it like the Delta.
Yes.
It sounds like a WoW sorority.
Yes.
The Alpha Beta Legion.
Hazing. Yeah. Log on when there's so many bugs as part of your sorority bonding.
Amazing.
But yeah, I mean, it's shutting down Monday, so I'm like, oh, if there's something I really want to test or write down or document, I need to do this now.
Do it now. All right, we're going to go. I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful week, and I hope that you have a nice holiday. We will see you next year.
Yep.
But
happy holidays.
Yeah, we will see you on January 1st. I hope you guys all have a happy and safe holiday. Do not drink and drive. We're going to go. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wrong one. That's the right one.